So component amount, and what else do I want? So I forgot I need the messages here. Empty string, maybe empty array. So I probably need to pass in props here, but I'm not too worried. I can always so this is the room. I need a message list, so I'm gonna try to make a message list component. So here I'll return
Message.
yeah, so I'll return a bunch of message items. So I'm gonna have a bunch of message items. So I would do let message items is equals to this props messages. So whatever message I receive, I'm gonna map it to a group of message items. Message list items. Okay. Not sure what props they're gonna need, but this is the
Wait, message list items.
right. I haven't defined that. I'm gonna define
Wouldn't it
that.
just be an item?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Good. So yeah, so I'm gonna do message items. Yeah. And by the way, I haven't talked about this. Do you know how, if I want to comment out something in here, how do I do that? Obviously, if I want to comment this line out, how do I do that?
Yeah.
Obviously, this doesn't work.
That did not work.
Yeah.
With the star.
Star?
Star in the
Star?
That doesn't work either. I tried
Oh, you have to put in the brackets and then
Yeah,
comment.
exactly. Because right now you are in JSX, you are not in JS. So escape it in the JS land, then you can comment it out.
Lol.
Yeah. Well, a little bit.
That's just the nature of JSX though.
Yeah, just a nature. Yeah.
Did you figure that out?
No.
That's so honest.
So that's how
I totally.
it's how you comment stuff out.
But I was doing a project in JS, remember? I was doing a web app instead of the Electron app. So
It's tougher.
it's
Are you in the Angular class with him?
I don't know.
No, last week.
No, I'm just pretending I know him for a while.
We're all best friends. We're just not looking
We
at
are.
all the time.
You're not in the circle.
So this is actually it. This is the gist of this app. Yeah, the rest are details, the styles, and the how you put the avatar and username inside. Put it in, pass it in. You know.
So is there a way to sort the messages with the map function there? Because you could sort. Can you sort like?
Yeah, you can sort by timestamp as well.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
that was the solution.
Yeah, you can
How would
definitely sort it.
How would you sort based on a particular
Um,
attribute of each message?
They are actually sorted in the Firebase, but you can sort it here too. I mean, once you the thing with the functional programming, which the map is a essential feature of, is you can chain your functions. So after I map it, I can do sort, right?
Okay.
So based on how you're gonna sort it, right? So and do the same thing, and
Oh yeah.
yeah. So
Can you save the simplified version of the solution somewhere?
sure. And I'm recording, so I'm gonna upload this recording.
Were you offering extra help this weekend?
Yeah,
If
I
there's
was
a,
wondering
it
what
was on
people were-
YouTube.
From where? Are you
Oh, really?
are you getting my emails?
I guess I don't know. I don't think I am.
Yeah.
No, it was in Slack.
It was in Slack.
Was
And it was
So
in
I
Slack.
haven't been
It
paying
was in
attention
Slack.
to
I wasn't like, was not.
That's my fault for not looking at Slack.
I didn't see it either.
YouTube recommends your videos now from now on.
Really? No.
Because like I watched it once, not the full video, just like clicked it once.
Yeah.
Recommended videos for you by
Well, I only have
Where
two.
do these videos go?
YouTube.
Oh, cool.
Are you concerned?
I just didn't know that was a thing.
She doesn't
I
want to be
think
left
very
out.
It's
wide
not
range,
video,
like-
it's not like facing us. or
Yeah,
anything.
it's just,
No, but
it's
I'm
just a
still
screen.
saying.
So any other questions? So I'm not doing the full-blown solution, but this is just the idea how you compose your component and pass down, your state to props, and your children would have access to the state via these props.
How is this dot props dot messages, right? Messages is an array of whatever data.
Yeah.
But how is it getting it? Because
So message list
yeah.
here have a prop messages, and
Oh, so-
yeah.
Oh.
So if you define it here, messages, then
Instead
in
of state. That's weird.
yeah, and then in here you have access to it via these props messages.
I'm still confused when to use state, when to use props.
State is like I just think of state as something that your component itself manages. Props
Yeah.
is something that like when one component needs to talk to another component, it needs to send some data or receive data, you use props.
All right. That's
Right,
really clear.
right.
Okay.
So, for example, this room manages the messages, but the message list doesn't manage messages.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
And it's always a best practice to push whatever that you don't need to your parent, to let them manage as a state, and you only manage as props.
A lot of times a state is handled with like an on-click or something like that.
Right, right,
Okay.
right,
Because you want maybe the element to react in a different way when you click it.
right, right.
All right.
All right. Any other questions? And as I said, so if you let me just route this differently. So I have the solution. Well, this is router, but you don't have to worry about that for now. So as I say, if you make a app and it's all working, everything's fine, and you want to package it, well, you can just go to command line and type something like a electron package or something. Well, it's probably here. No, let me just find the command. But you don't package it right now because it's gonna take like 20 minutes. So if you're interested, I think the command is run npm package. So once you package, then you'll go into that the folder. There's a packager. Then you'll be just here, go into it. So this is your app. You can just send it to your girlfriend, send it to your mom, so you have your private chat room. So it's your app.
Can you change the icon?
Yeah, you can change the icon. You can just go on Electron, Google, and the documentation on how to change your icon. You can make your own icon, or there's some options. You can package for Windows, package for Linux. So aside from this app, I read an article that this company made the election recording, like it's a vote counting app for Cambodian elections via Electron and React.
Oh.
I think it's an American company making this app for Cambodian election. It's pretty cool. So they wrote this front end in React, Electron, back end in Python because they need those special security stuff. But it's pretty cool. So that's that. Okay, so I'm gonna quit this. So we're gonna get into new stuff today. So why don't I go back to this to-do app that we did last time. Let me just find it. It's not here.
Are you still working off of master, or are you working off of?
You shouldn't pull anything for now. I think you should have the latest PM start. If you go into your package.json, if your CSS loader is 0.23.1, then you should be good.
3.111?
So your CSS in package.json in your React Workshop files 0.23.1, that should be good. So here okay.
0.17?
0.23.1
Where is this under? Package.
package.json at the if your URL is not 0.23.1, just change it to 0.23.1 and then run npm install
What is it?
CSS loader.
Yeah, so it should be 23.1 instead
Yeah.
of 11.
So once you make a change, just go to the command line and then type npm install before you type npm start.
npm install.
Once you install it, you should
Failed. Just npm.
npm I.
Like that?
Yeah.
Bonked out on me for some reason.
I'm going to just npm install CSS dash loader.
CSS loader?
CSS dash loader.
That?
Very good. So if you go to your node modules, inside your node modules, and if you open up CSS loader and look at the package.json, the version should be 0.23.1 or higher.
It's version 1, it says.
What?
Version 1.0.0, okay.
Your CSS loader? Okay, it's even better.
CSS loader?
So inside your node modules, inside the CSS loader, there's a package.json.
Got it.
CSS loader package.json, the version should be 0.23.1. So once you have that, you want to go to your webpack.config.js. And here we want to add something. I want to pull it up so I don't get it wrong. CSS module.
Yeah, I got the same thing.
What's wrong?
So change it to 0.23. 1, 2, 3.
Where'd it go?
We'll do npm install. Bonks out on you. Do npm install space css slash dash loader.
Oh, God.
Okay, modules.
So this is my number.
It's like spiraling it.
Just bang around on it.
So in here, in your webpack.config.js, you wanna on this line CSS loader style and CSS, you want to put a question mark and modules.
What exactly is that going to do?
So it's just going to turn on the CSS modules option for you. So we're going to talk about Webpack, so don't worry about this too much.
Yeah,
But basically,
just like I know you can pipe it through.
yeah, you pipe it through this bunch of loaders, and in the CSS loader, we turn on the CSS module option. Okay. Okay, so before we go into CSS modules, let's talk about the need for CSS modules. And I believe you guys write better CSS than me. I hate CSS, but one thing I know, one thing I know is CSS is not very scalable. And so this is a presentation done by Christopher Shadu from Facebook. So he's one of the core contributors for React. And he did this presentation back in 2014, and then he's actually advocating inline styles in JS. Yeah, but wait before you let me finish this. And so he began by laying out all the CSS problems. So number one, global namespace, dependency, deco elimination, minification, sharing constants, and all that. So
Can't you just use SAS instead? You can call it gray.
well,
Well, you could use a SAS file to declare your styles, right? And
Yeah.
then just add classes?
yeah, but SAS doesn't solve all of these problems. For example, global CSS, nothing solves that.
It's blocking. CSS is a blocker for
Give it a request then.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, so this presentation just go through some of the problems. So see if you want to build a button, right? We define all this stuff, and it's all good. But see, we have these global names. If you have a huge team like Facebook, like thousands of front-end developers, you're gonna be very hard time if you have a bunch of global names lying around. So he talks about, in JavaScript, the very first thing we're taught is that no globals. But yet in CSS, we're always using globals. So it's not.
SAS is great, though.
Well, the SAS solve the problem?
You can still.
Yeah.
It's still going well.
Yeah, SAS
That's
doesn't.
everything within your slow because you have to do it.
Yeah. But I guess it's the nature of the beast.
So in Bootstrap, we have larger than 600 globals. It's just
Yeah, I would never install Bootstrap in my apps anymore.
it's just a horrible mess that in this state we're still using a lot of globals in CSS.
But Twitter, no, I just kidding.
And this extension is how they solved it in Facebook in 2014. So we're not gonna go through their solution because in modern time this is obsolete. So number two is dependencies. You have one CSS, one class. One depends on the other class. How you manage that? It's hard. You can solve some of that with SAS or less, but it's not robust, right? And also deco animation. If you have some CSS class you're no longer using, how do you find it? How do you eliminate it? When you eliminate it, how are you sure that nobody else is using it? So, and minification, right? How would you want to minify your CSS, and how you go about doing that? And sharing constants. You have like a color that's a theme color of your company, and how do you make it constant and everyone just using that? So you only have to change one file instead of 1,000 files when you change your company color. So this is the whole thing. And also there's a non-deterministic solution is where if you want to override your CSS also, you don't care about who comes after who. So whatever comes after one class, it always gets overridden. And it's just hard to manage, who's overriding who. So you can, and an isolation problem. So he claims that if you put CSS in JavaScript, everything can be solved. So this we talk about, right? You define inline styles, but okay, we're not going into too much about this detail, because in 2014, there's no consensus of how people go solve this problem, and a lot of ideas are floating around. I mean, but now the community settles on the CSS modules. That's why we're trying to learn CSS modules.
Where is CSS modules?
So CSS modules. So this would be the article that does a very nice introduction.
Welcome to the future.
This is the future, yes. But before we talk about CSS modules, let me just introduce a little bit Radium. It's one of the solutions claiming to solve this problem. Well, it's not a de facto solution anymore, but it's still got some good ideas. So if you're interested, if you're not bought into CSS modules, you're welcome to try this. But CSS modules is what we're going to do. So I'll send this article, you can read it, but we're just gonna go into hands-on with the CSS modules. So once you do that, inside your Webpack, you turn on CSS modules, then you can start using it. So go to our to-do app
Oh man.
here. So I'm just gonna, make a folder, right? New folder, I'm gonna call it styles.
What branch should we be in?
Either way, if you have a CSS, the correct CSS version, then you're fine. As long, and
I'm on Feb 10th and that's the correct.
What master?
yeah, Feb 10 should be the branch you're in.
Oh,
Yeah. Right. And if your to-do app should be running like this. So I make a folder, right? Where's my folder? Jeez. Anyway, I'll make it again. Folder, styles. Okay, so inside my folder, I'm gonna make a new file. Say main.css. So here, so I'm just gonna write some styles, right? Say my style, color red. So I have a folder called styles. Inside I have a main.css. So here I would just import it this way. Let me just get rid of all this. Hold on, let me not get rid of this. So I'm just gonna import style from, well, this is styles.main. You can put extensions here, but it's not necessary. But if it helps you remember what file it is, you can import like this. And inside your app, you can just put I can put here. So inside my to-do item, I'm just gonna do class name styles my style. This is my style, right? My style. Oops, it's not changing. Just give me one. Maybe compile this. Yes.
Changed for me.
Change view. Maybe I didn't recompile because I messed around with the Webpack config. I didn't restart. Yeah. Okay. So it changes. Well, it's nothing groundbreaking yet.
Can you style? But you're limited to styling only in CSS type format, right?
What do you mean?
Like,
Isn't that the point?
So with this, you no longer needing to write CSS. Well, you can do Sass as well,
oh, you
but
can?
yeah, but you need to go to your Webpack and then put in a Sass loader.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, so here you need to, instead of CSS loader, you need to chain it with a Sass loader. But we're not gonna do it here
Okay.
because I claim that with CSS modules you don't need Sass. Okay, so what's cool about so number one, what's cool is if you inspect this your element here, you'll see that this class is actually a jumble of strings. So this is what CSS Modules does it for you, is that it compiles your class and then make it extremely local. So your class is now local because CSS Modules, just this is compiled, so it's like a bunch of stuff. But if you read this article, you'll see that if it's not compiled, the class will be. Wait, let me see. So class will be like this. You'll concatenate your component name and your class and give it a random string at the end to make it local. So the class you write now is local. There's no longer conflicts anymore. So you can write my style, my teammate can write my style. There's not going to be a conflict.
It's only for that component.
Yeah. Okay.
That's cool.
Right. So so that the number one issue is solved, right? The global CSS name. And what's better is if I have say color, say so this is color is say purple. Then I can compose from other class. Compose. Say color. I think this is the right syntax.
Oh, that's cool. Just like mixing.
Yeah.
So it's just like missing, yeah. So you can compose, right? Not only you can compose, so not only you can compose from another class, you can compose from another file. So I have fonts.css, font size.css. Anyway, fonts.css. So if I have say like a font, my font size, so font size, say 30px, then I can compose from my main. Compose is what's that? My font size. My font size from font.css. I think this is the right count.
Fonts.
Fonts, okay.
Font size, CSS.
Now, how do you troubleshoot this?
Excuse me?
How do you troubleshoot something like this?
Troubleshoot. You're gonna
How do you
see.
debug?
Yeah, you're gonna see like here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you see, I can compose from another file. I can compose. So let me make it better. So now you can just make it extremely organized, right? You can have a fonts.css, you can have a color.css, then you just compose. So no longer that you need to have like a button. Normally you have like a normal so pressed, depressed, error, something like that, right? Now you can just my depressed can just compose from normal and then have like a other. So this is just example. It's not real code. Excuse me?
How did you import this into Exercise.js?
How do I import? Okay, so import, you just import styles.
Styles from styles.
Yeah. And then whatever you want to apply the styles to the component, you just put a class name and then do styles dot whatever class you want to apply.
So can you handle multiple classes then? How would you do that if you wanted to have?
Yeah, then you would just put a space, right? You want to do like do a string, right? So I'll do a string something like this, and then just escape. It's not robust, but there's some other helper that you can do. So multiple class, but you don't really need multiple classes though, because you handle multiple classes here. You just compose from multiple classes. Okay. So that's how you handle CSS in JS in React. The CSS module is the de facto
So
standard.
CSS module takes in your style sheet and converts it into a JavaScript object so you can access the properties.
Right. And it localizes for you, and then yeah, all that good stuff. So you can depend on each other, you can compose from each other, and this solves all the problems that we'll talk about. Right? So why don't you guys try to make this app pretty by applying whatever styles you want. Just and I encourage you to do some compose.
Can I just see the import statement again? Sorry.
Input, sure, it's right here.
My app isn't working.
Isn't working?
The npm run is just throwing an error.
Yeah, just do npm install the CSS dash loader.
Oh, I did that already.
It's npm start.
npm start. Did you run your app?
It's failing.
So you have another app that's using local. Maybe it's already started somewhere.
I think it's 880.
80? There's somewhere here.
The hell is that?
Hacker? Who's that? Why is the server running at 80?
How do I get rid of that? How do I kill that?
I don't know.
That's fucking crazy.
Why do you have this?
Do you have the electronic store?
Enterprise DB? Do you use Enterprise DB?
I have no idea who that is.
Uh-oh.
Someone's hacking you.
Someone's hacking you.
Kill. I would kill. Yeah.
Any ideas?
Any ideas? Shut off your computer.
Should I restart?
That's what you put in something.